Hello, hello, hello. Good morning, everyone. Happy Sunday to you all. Nice to see you here. Morning, Fiona, Jill, Carol, Julie, Marjorie, Teresa, Shirley, Heather, June, Kaz, Sandra, Teresa, Jenny, another Fiona, Shirley, Catherine, Sarah. Lovely to see you all here. Heather, I have a question. Are there different shopping hours up in Scotland than there are here? It's Sunday. How come you've been shopping and back in home by 9:45? We couldn't even go shopping before 10 o'clock here. I found that rather odd. So, but I'm glad that you went shopping and got back, and that's good. That is good. So we're going on the Christmas theme here today. We are going to be using one of the adjustable frames from Sue Wilson. There are actually a few different ones in the collection this time. We have got the Snowflake one, which we're doing, the bells and the poinsettia. So they all come in a same theory, that there are 6 dies in total. There are 3 different sizes, and they therefore are adjustable, make up different size frames, different shape frames for whatever project that you want to do. So today, because it's Sunday and because I love you so much, I'm going to make 3 projects. How about that? So your Tesco's are open at 8. Well, I never did. Well, there you are. Now I know. Now I know. Come to Scotland if I want to go shopping early. There you go. So let's get back to the game in hand. So going to be using the Snowflake Adjustable. So when you look at them, got one here, there, as I say, 3 different sizes. The largest one is 14 centimetres long, and they're all 3 centimetres, so that's just over the inch wide. But then you've got the smaller one and the smaller one still. So when you look at them, they come like this. So this is the outer frame. So this one here does not have an outer cutting frame. If you look at it, you might think it has, because it has got a lot of cutting area around it, but it has to be used, or not has to be, but in order to cut it out like they're suggesting, it has to be used with the frame. So if you cut out those 2 together, you will end up with that. Let's put that to one side so you can see. You will end up with that shape. Obviously, if you just use that, you would be cutting directly into a piece of card, and so you'd end up with that little pretty border all the way round. And then that piece will cut out just one blank piece. Now, I'll have to show you that. Hold on a second. It's under a different project. That will cut you out one piece like that. So the idea is that you can put those one on top of another as well, so that you've got a background there. Okay, so that's the same with all of the adjustable frames, whether they be the poinsettia, the snowflake, or the bell. They're all the same. Okay, so as I said, 3 projects for you today, and all of them are different, believe it or not. So here we go. Here's our first one. So I've taken a 7x7 card. Let's move this out of the way because we don't need that a second. 7x7 card, and I have cut out a piece of silver pearl card with quite a wide border all the way round. Okay, and then I've cut out another piece of white card that fits just inside that silver border, and that will give me a narrow opening there. Now I'm going to put a sentiment into the centre here, and I'm going to use some of the new Christmas sentiments from Woodware. So this one, I say a sentiment, it's actually like a little verse. So the other ones, I wanted something large because it's going to be centred around here. So I've cut 4 of these little beauties out, and they are going to sit just inside here like that. Let's just put that one over there so we don't lose it. So that is going to be just like that. And for this one, and this one only, I'm going to be sticking my shapes absolutely directly onto the piece of card. So in this gap here is where I want to put my sentiment. So you can see that that just sort of, I'll take it out of the packet, you'll be able to see even more. Like that. That's going to fit in there just nicely. And if you're wondering what it says, wishing you all the timeless treasures of Christmas, the warmth of home, the love of family, and the company of good friends. So that's going to go into the centre there. So before I start sticking anything down, I need to do the sentiment first. So I have already placed my sentiment in the correct position to stop me, because I've got to get through 3 for you today. I thought I better set that all up first. So I've got my stamping platform here, and I've got my sentiment, she says, hopefully in the right place. It's going to go there. And because I've gone on a silver theme here, I'm going to emboss this with silver embossing powder. So I'm first of all going to put on my embossing ink onto my stamp, like so. I'm going to take my embossing powder thing just to make sure that there isn't anything in the centre of that card. Whoops. And I'm going to pop that onto there. Just make sure I press down in all the areas. Like so. Then I'm going to take that, put that back. Like that. And for this one, I've got a great big box of silver. Must admit it needs filling up. Again, that's silver and gold being ones that I use a lot. I just decant them all into a great big box so that they're easier to use. In actual fact, they were also for the days of when I was doing going to my lovely girls over at Mundham and Chichester and that for our real workshops, but they don't happen just at the minute, but hopefully it won't be long. Oh, lemon meringue pie. Who's cooking a lemon meringue pie? Oh my goodness. I bet that's not someone that lives close to me. No, it's not, is it? It's not. You couldn't live much further away, May, in Ireland. Right, just heating this up and going over fairly quickly so that I don't hesitate and get a curly piece of card. I will do it back from the back as well. Okay, so just heat setting all of that. Just make sure that that's all set. Okay, so hopefully you can now see that that's quite a pretty font and that's all in the centre there. So bringing back my card blank. So I'm going to attach my piece of silver pearl card straight down onto my card. Always just check that you've got the card round the right way. And I'm just going to put a bit of wet glue onto the back of that. Whoops. Let's clear said nozzle and then we'll be able to do it even better, won't we? Okay, and that's going to go straight down there. And as I said, it's leaving quite a wide border all the way around with that one. And then leaving a narrow border, I'm going to attach this piece. So that's down to you. I mean, that's down to your preference, but I just fancy doing it like that. I didn't want the silver to be overbearing, which is why I've done it like that. You can see that my card has decided that it really wants to walk beautifully. So let's see if we can't rescue that from behind. Pressing that down there. Oh, that's no good, is it? We don't like that. No, it needs rescuing. Hold on. Needs rescuing because it's you can see that that's warped. I don't know if you can see that. So we'll nip that in the bud and we will pop on some of the double-sided tape instead of the wet glue, because we can't be doing with that. So I'm going to put that as close to the edge as I can get. Oh, goodness me. This one sticks. I think if you're doing something that is heat set, or I usually use it on the watercolour card, you do need this tape. I very rarely use the tape. It doesn't like being put on top of glue, I must admit. And I find that will help you to keep your work nice and flat. Because there's nothing worse than it wobbling when it shouldn't do. We can't be doing that, can we? So just put that all around instead. Okay. So then take that back. Just check I got it around the right way again. And pop that into position like that. Turn it over again, because then I can press down evenly. Whoops. That is better. That's more like it. Can't do with a wobble now, can we? Still a bit wobbly. Okay, right, we'll go with it. So with this one, all I'm going to do is put these down absolutely straight onto here. So they will be going down like that. Okay, so I'm going to try using my very thin applicator glue on this one. So I wanted to show you that there are different ways of actually attaching these as well. So this is fine liner glue, same glue that I was using. So it is the very strong glue, but it's just in a fine delivery bottle. So let's just pop that, leaving a little border. And that sits just there like that. And these ones are all the same size. So these are all the largest. And as I said to you before, this is a 7x7 card. So obviously it looks all right in a 7x7 card. You could go even bigger if you wanted to. But because it is an adjustable frame, you could use this in most sizes that you would want. So that one just matches completely and utterly up to the corner and down there. And then this little one into here. Okay. Just putting all the glue onto those little bits. Now, as I said, I'm using this to show you that if you haven't got the sticky speck stuff, which I like to use for these intricate things, you can do it with all the little bits of glue. And that one slots into there. And then finally this one on this side. And then I could just leave it like that, but I thought I wouldn't. And I've just in the process of doing a little poinsettia to go in there as well. So yeah, I can use the glue, not a problem. Bit time consuming, but we can do it. And that slots into there as if it was made to go in there. So that's your sort of basic. And then I've taken on a classic poinsettia from John Next Door, cut it out in just the basic white card, and then I've also cut another piece from the same of the silver pearl from behind there, and that's going to act as my sort of leaves. So I've kept that one flat, and I'm going to put this one, which I've moulded a little bit, onto there like that. And I'm using the glue glaze, because this has got quite a fast pickup bit here. Okay. And then I'm going to put the next layer on, and I'm going to just alternate the petals or the leaves, whatever you like to call them. And I have put a little bit of a silvery colour into the centre of these, just to make it a little bit different. And again, alternating my petals, and then one final one on the top. Okay. And set that down like so. And then I'm going to put some of my other glue just in the centre there, just to hold that into that corner there. And I think we need a little gem to go in the centre there, really. I have to find one of those. I can only pick up pearls at the moment. I need a little gem to go in there. Anyway, so that is fairly basic, but because we've only just cut out one layer, nice sentiment in the centre, but there's one version of using the Snowflake Adjustable. Okay, so that's number one. So then we're going to move over onto a slightly smaller card. So this is a 6 by 6. And again, I've cut out 4 of, 4 of these. So they're all the same size. All right. All the same size. And that was cut by using the 2 together, because as you remember, I said this one's got no cutting edge. So the 2 together, cut out, and they can be used both at the same time, and cut out 4 of those. Then I've taken this one only, and from one of the Craft Artist packs. Now these are just such good value. These are the glitter sheets. They come in 3 different collections. This one is the cool set, cool tones or something. So you've got 10 sheets altogether. I've used this sort of turquoisey one. Then you've got sea green, silver, pink, and coral, I think that one's called. And that's almost like a sort of rose gold in real life. And then there's the other set, the festive set, and the warm tones. And you can see the colours online if you were interested in any of them. They are glitter cards, but they are absolutely flat. There's not any glitter, nothing's going to rub off of that. And they cut so well. So I have already pre-cut 4 of the backings of here. Okay, and I've also used it to cut out one of the sentiments, because that's going to go into the center like that. So you can see that in that card, the detail that's in that die cuts it out really well. So a lot of glitter cards, if you've used it in the past, has a sort of a plastic cover, and I find that sometimes that rips off, and it's all a bit of a nightmare. So in order to stick this one, and the reason why I want to do this way round is because I am going on to glitter card, and I have found that some of the glitter card is more difficult to get an intricate piece of card to stick onto it, and I do want it to be flat. So I need to go onto my sticky sheet, stick all my pieces onto here. I can line them all up and put that down, and then press that down so that I'm picking up all of the little micro dots that are there. And then I'm going to take them one at a time and just attach them absolutely on top of my glitter card. Okay, and that way you can see that it sticks completely flat, even though it's on glitter card. I'm not sure if you have found that, but I know I have in the past. Sticking onto glitter card can be a trial in itself, really. So, let's see what I'm doing. So that goes onto there, and that one, whoops, and these as well. And pressing these. Now, you can use, as I say, a variety of different sizes, which will give you different shapes. The little one, obviously, will give you a very tiny shape in the middle, but that's ideal for making it into a sentiment carrier, if that's the word. So there's all sorts of different combinations. So we stuck all those together, but don't want to go just like that. Can go just like that, like I did before. And that one goes in the center. But hey, let's go a bit different. So how about if we turn them round the other way? So they're all back on themselves like that. And of course they're going to match because they are symmetrical. So that one's going to sit on there, just corner to corner there, corner to corner there. And our sentiment in the center there. So that one is just very simple, but it just gives this a different look, really. So let's have a go at sticking these down. So a bit of glue on the back of that one. To make sure that we got enough space, and there's a bit of wiggle room then in with these. So one has to decide whether you're going to go, the side ones are going to go on the top of this or on the bottom, underneath I should say. So you do need to just check. And that one needs to just be slid up a little bit. Okay, so you could have put them underneath. So you do just need to decide that. And again, you could have put a bit of tape on here as well, foam tape to lift them up a little bit. Just slide them in there. Oh, nearly stuck the sentiment down as well. So this is a 6x6. So I've not put any border, but of course you could make it on a bigger card. Put them around the right way. And this one is literally just turning it round so that instead of it is still making a square, but in the inside, but on the outside, it's making more of a, well, I suppose you call it a hexagon, don't you? Don't know really. And then my sentiment's going to go on the middle. Now I could go a bit further with this and put more jewels and more bits and pieces in. And you could also cut out some of these snowflakes individually, just snip them there, and there, and then you've got lots of single snowflakes that you could use as well. So that all can look quite different. And then just pop my sentiment down into the center. The sentiment that I'm using is from, I think it's called, excuse me, Happy Snowflakes or something, but I'm afraid it is no longer available. It's a John Lockwood one from a couple of years ago, and it is no longer available, but many of you may well have them. But I thought that being the snowflakes there, I thought that looked rather nice. So that's using the glitter card behind, and that's using my sticky specs to stick straight onto it on a 6x6 card. Okay, and the final card today is using my card base here. Now I've actually trimmed this down a little bit. It was a 7x7 card, and I wanted to still make it into a card rather than just a card front. And so all I did was, once I'd measured everything, I've just taken a fraction off. I think it's about 2 centimeters off of the bottom, nothing off the side, just a little bit off the bottom. I've cut a layer, and this time I've done it with the silver mirror card. So you will see that that one's quite shiny as opposed to the other one was matte. And then a white piece underneath there. Okay, so that I've already stuck down. Now this time I've cut out my, let's pop this out of the way. I've cut out my pieces, and I have cut out 2 of the long ones, so 2 this one, and 2 of the smaller one, not the small one, sorry, the middle size. So I've cut 2 of that one and 2 of that one. Okay, so that's going to make my rectangle like so, like that. All right, and then I used some of the double-sided sticky sheets. So there's an awful lot of glue going on here today, but again, I wanted to show you of all different ways that you could use them. So I've taken the blank part, the solid background bit, and I've put a piece of white card and then put some double-sided sticky sheet on top of it. And then from that, I've cut 2 of the longer one and 2 of the medium one of the back only. Okay. And this is what I want to do with them. So I'm going to take them and I'm going to remove my carrier sheet there. So now that part there is exceptionally sticky. Oh, get off when you're told. Right, and then I'm going to take my corresponding snowflake frame and I'm going to stick that absolutely over the top. Okay, just use that just to press down on that wax side there, press down, then I won't stick to the background and neither will anything else, but the card where it should do will. I'm just going to do this one at the same time. So again, it's just take the carrier sheet off and attach this one directly onto there. Okay. Just press that down as well. And then I'm going to take some of my glitter. This one happens to be diamond sprinkles, but it could be the silk glitter that we were using the other day or any other glitter that you have, but not an embossing glitter because we're not going to heat set this. I'm just literally going to sprinkle that in there, and then wherever the glue is underneath, I'm not sure if you can see that sparkling. Can you see it sparkling? Hopefully you can. Then it just picks that up. So I'm going for a more or less a white on white finish with all this. Okay, so just pop that down there and just make sure that all the bits of that are covered. Okay, so that all of your glitter and all your sticky bits are covered there. And obviously I have done that with all 4 pieces. Just pop that back into there. My lid on before I drop that everywhere. Oh, as if. Now, then I'm going to take a bit of tape and I'm going to add some to the back of all my pieces because I want this to just be raised a little bit. So 1 bit into the back of there is probably sufficient because you've got quite a thick piece of card on the back. The card that I used was nothing special. It's just my ordinary card. It's not stamping card or anything like that. Obviously, it doesn't need to be for this. So then I'm going to put this into position. Before I take the back off, I want to just make sure that this is all into the right position. Okay. So you can see that this is going to sit up there. And I want them to be touching. But I want them, hold on, to have just that little gap in between them on this one. So we've got them into position. Take that backing off. And then, sorry, I'm going to have to lean in to be able to see what I'm doing. Just going to put that on there, like that. This one down the bottom. Like so, and then these ones on the side. And this time I've opened it up a fraction. You could have them all actually joining, touching, but I just thought it'd be quite nice for them to be not touching. So there you go, kind of alike. Hold on, I wanted to stay stuck too early. Move that over, that's better. Okay, so you can see there that they are all stuck and all slightly raised. Can you see that? Because you've got that bit of glue there. Oh, that's a better picture, isn't it? You can see that they're raised and And then I think you can also see from there with the sparkle underneath. So it's quite a nice effect, white on white. I like that idea. Then I've got one of the new sentiments. Again, this one's from Sue Wilson. This one, We Wish You a Merry Christmas. And I'm going to put that down because of the intricacy with it. There's such a lot of fine trails and all sorts on that. And I want to stick that so that it will stay stuck. I think there's nothing worse than making a project and then it's collapsed on itself before the person's even got it. So I'm just going to, so I've cut that out of the silver mirror card there. And that one just slots into there. And I'm not going to add anything more to that one. That one is finished just like that. Obviously, if you have got them and you fancy having a go with them, you could put some poinsettias or whatever on here. But let's bring some of these back so that you can see the difference. We've got one stamp set. No, we haven't. We've got one die set. The Snowflake Adjustable frame. All right. But we have achieved already, just in a very short while, we have already achieved 3 completely different cards. 3 different size cards, so that if you mix and match your different shapes, you can go for a square or a rectangle. You can make a longer version, a shorter version, whatever you fancy. You can turn them around. You don't have to make, oh, okay, yes, there is a square in there, but this isn't a square, obviously. And I've actually used, apart from being a shorter one here, the same die in all different selections. Which one do you like best? I can't quite decide. I do like that one. It needs a little jewel. But I do like the simplicity of that one. And it's not too thick. And then I like that one for being different and being quite a modern one, I think, with that one. So there you go. So over on the website, you will find the Snowflake adjustable frame is over there. I will be putting these, because I used this as a last minute. This is called Special Christmas Words. These dies, these stamps are called Special Christmas Words, and I have them all in stock. But I have to add them yet because they are not. I've got a lot of the Christmas dies now in. Oh goodness, a lot of the Christmas stamps in stock, and I haven't put them on the website yet. So I will be doing that for you. So that's that one. There's the poinsettia on there. There is the sentiment, but not that one, I'm afraid. That's the only one that's not. And of course, the lovely glitter card is also over there. We will be getting some new colours of the glitter card in soon, but not just yet. We've still got the festive, the cool and the warm collections. So thank you very much for joining me today. I hope you all have a very good day. I've got my sister coming to visit. First time we've seen her since February as well. So she lives in Kent, but she's down here seeing my dad. So that's going to be good. Look forward to seeing her. I will be back on Wednesday with another technique on Wednesday, and then Friday, that's at 11. And then Friday, Fancy Fold Friday, will be at 10 o'clock. Also on Hochanda this evening, John Lockwood will be launching a new range of vintage travel stamps and stencils from the 2J's collection, and they will be available here as well later on after 6 o'clock this evening. Okay, so thank you very much. Yes, I will enjoy seeing her. Thanks very much, everyone, and have a great weekend. Thanks a lot. Bye.